What surprised you about sex the first time you had it? Getting ups felt weird to me the first time. I remember just staring at the ceiling throughout the day thinking HMM. So this is ups. What I remember most about getting my first ups is that she asked me to warn her when I was about to come, and I was really focused on not screwing that up. Same with me. But she didn't suck. She just slid her lips up and down my shaft. Felt good, but it's not going to make me come. She didn't know I was losing my virginity. Getting asked in the middle of humping to choke her out was something I was completely unprepared for. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Why are you ought to know by no www. Edit. Billy Joel is pure gold and thanks to Reddit Gold, I'm now part Billy Joel, too. Thank you, kind Redditor. That I didn't come immediately. The horror stories of what friends had told me that I'd come immediately had me petrified. Luckily, the girl I was with was patient, and I'm pretty sure I lasted a whole 3 to 4 minutes. I expected to last 30 seconds, but in fact, couldn't come at all until like the second or third occasion I had sex. After that I got over my nerves and turned into the 30-second man I always knew I could be. Same here. I was so holy this is happening and nervous that I never got there. How hard a penis gets. Like I'm not sure why, but before I touched a penis I guess I just thought it'd have a banana consistency or something. Young me was stupid. And like 5 comments above you, she says how soft it felt. Interesting. I still get surprised how something can be so soft and so hard at the same time. It feels like warm velvet over a powerful reinforced rod. Like a thick metal cable, I'd imagine. Pliable yet firm. Go on. This may sound stupid, but the intimacy of it was a part one didn't even consider until it was happening. The entire act of taking off our clothes and holding each other blew me away. It's actually shocking how you can go 23 years without even noticing that you need to be touched, and then once someone touches you, it becomes an essential part of your life. I've been single for 2 months after a 2.5 year relationship. I miss the intimacy and being held and hugs whenever I wanted them more than anything else. I'm kind of in the same boat. Then I remind myself that part of the reason we broke up is because my wife wasn't providing any sort of intimacy anymore. It's been a year since we split, but I spent longer periods missing this intimacy while I was with her. Ugh, I know that feeling. Like, even knowing that you were just as alone in the relationship as you are now that you're out of it, just not having that person who's always supposed to be there anymore makes you start regretting ending it. It can be so stupidly difficult to remember that it was the right thing. For what it's worth, my final decree of divorce just came through after 1.5 years of waiting. And things really have gotten better. The months before I left my husband and the year after was the most painful and difficult time of my life. Every time I started recovering from the last blow, another thing came and knocked me down again. But things have gotten so much better now. For the first time in a very long time, I can actually say I'm happy when someone asks how I am. Not to say the timeline is similar for everyone, because situations are always different, but it does get easier. I don't even know why I bothered typing that out. Because you seem fine. But I just related to that. I hope you're doing well and things are continually improving for you. The clapping sound. So no one told you that life was gonna be this way. Clap 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 clap. I just laughed so hard. That WhatsApps are not for novices. You should try a half-inflated air mattress. Hilarity ensues. They are also really loud in a quiet house. Regardless of the level of inflation, everyone in the house will know when you're on an air mattress. Thump 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 thump. Bang. Pro tip. Don't pss on an air mattress on a messy concrete floor. Especially if you're fat. It kind of just happened, and we didn't use a condom, and didn't worry about it until the second after I came, and then totally freaked out. Oh, and how completely exhausted you are after. If someone came at me trying to murder me right after sex, I would probably just lay there and be like whatever. If someone came at me trying to murder me right after sex, I would probably just lay there and be like whatever. Death is better than becoming a father. Is that what your daddy always tells you? To close to home. Just like dad. To close to home. Just like dad. At least your dad is nearby. The vagina likes to make sounds similar to flatulence while it's wet. And there ain't nothing you can do about that. While it's wet, and there ain't nothing you can do about that. You could try being less attractive. Can confirm. I hear no queefs. My current GF is like a damn waterfall, and any kind of vigorous sex sounds like putting on and taking off wet galoshes. How tiring and sweaty it can be. The first time I was not prepared to end up feeling like I'd just run a 40-kilometer marathon through Mordor. Well, usually after the run through Mordor, what's going on in my mind? I can see the Shire, Brandywine River, Bag End, lights in the party tree, Rosie Cotton dancing. She had ribbons in her hair. If ever I was to marry someone, it would have been her. It would have been her. How weird, but pleasant, it is to see someone else naked. OMG this. I didn't realize it till you said it. Up until that point, I don't remember ever seeing a fully naked person in real life. It was kinda surreal. No one ever talks about after sex cleanup. Bodily fluids are everywhere, yet women on TV usually just get up and walk normally to the bathroom. What's worse is the after sex 20-minute conversation in TV/film. Like, do you want a big sticky puddle around your ass? Because that's what happens. In my experience, that wet spot happens regardless of how long you lay there after. Cast dignity to the winds and grab a towel or wad of tissue or clothing you do not need again tonight and just stuff it in between you both as you pull out. Ain't romantic, but at least you can sleep without doing laundry. That's what we do. We keep a stash of towels near the bed now for that. I got tired of using discarded clothing being the only thing within reach for the cleanup. How warm it is inside the female genitals. I'll link this post once again for those who missed it. NSFW threads. Hell. Close all windows and doors. Shut the curtains and preemptively shoot the vicar before eating. The vicar won't be home for hours. Do you even know what a vicar is? It's like a goalie, right? Fluids. Not just male fluids. In my experience, it's mostly the female fluids. Seriously, some girls create a lake on that bed. Can confirm this. My fiance is one of these people. I regularly change the sheets. The dry cleaners think I wet the bed. I heard them talking about it in Mandarin. Joke's on you. White guy speaks Chinese. TFW, you're visibly Chinese, so they don't speak in front of you. That it doesn't need to be a multi-hour process for both people to be satisfied. I've many satisfying for both people events that weren't more than 10 minutes long from start to finish. Clearly you've never checked out r/sex or r/relationships. It's like that scene from Fast Times, everyone throwing out 4 to 8 hour numbers for their sex at times. How embarrassed I would feel about it. I always feel so self-conscious about my body, about what I'm doing, and how I look. Even though I've never had any complaints. It makes it less enjoyable. I feel the exact same way when he tries to go down on me. I usually go with it, just because he really wants to, but I'm worried about what he thinks / what he's smelling / tasting / feeling / how gross it is, and it's usually not quite intense enough, unlike penetrative sex, to distract me fully from those thoughts. It sucks. The best way I've found to get past it is genuinely trying to see yourself in the same light that your partner does. Looking in the mirror and letting yourself go, hey, I'm kinda cute, and not worrying about seeming vain or any of that ps. I'm sure your partner also has insecurities about their appearance, but you either minimize or overlook them entirely, and I bet they're doing the same. Mine didn't even realize I had specific imperfections until I pointed them out. Chest farts. Flabby tummy farts. How little room there is in the back of a PT Cruiser. The fact that you got laid while rolling in a PT Cruiser is no minor miracle in itself. A PT Cruiser is the Crocs of automobiles. Luckily it was a PT Cruiser, not mine. After the pain, I'd say how it made him look / feel afterwards. That sweaty, bleary-eyed look of wonder, pulling me close to his chest. Post-sex cuddles are the best, until you realize there's still a mess to clean up. No cleanup. We live here now, in whatever the hell all this is, in peace. For those few minutes after. The hole is much lower. Edit. My highest rated comment is now about my sexual ineptitude. Also, women do not have nearly as much gooch real estate as men do. Very narrow gap between the two holes. Haha. This. Before I'd had sex, I was making out with my girlfriend, and she was laying on top of me. Testing the waters to see how far she was willing to go, I reached into the back of her pajama pants to grab some ass. That worked, so I thought I'd go a little further and see if she would let me touch some taint, and got a handful of wetps. Wasn't expecting it to be so close. Haha. I'd say you met your objective on testing the waters. They were in fact wet. I was surprised at how wrong I was thinking, that I was ready for it. Well, if you still call it pop pop, then yeah. Girls have hairy buttholes too. Yeah. It's so hard to shave though. How awkward it was. Also, that I didn't orgasm. I just assumed that was guaranteed. I was so wrong. The whole placement. Imagine where you think it is, and go down an inch and a half. Joke's on you, I watch 16 hours a day. Those are rookie numbers. Oral. Holy crap, she's actually doing this. The deed. Holy crap, I'm actually doing this to her. Some girls' stepdads don't like to find you on top of them. Well, you were supposed to ps the girl, not the stepdad. What surprised me the most was the pure emotional connection, and how intense the intimacy was. I never knew it was possible for one to have so much love in their eyes. But when my boyfriend and I locked eyes during the act, it was really life-changing in an emotional sense. That I pushed her hand away when she tried to grab my junk. There was some serious Mormon conditioning going on there. We got over it though. My initial reaction was, this is it? For all the hype surrounding it, I expected a lot more from it. Edit. This was when I was 16, and I'm about to turn 29. Things have improved. No worries. It will get better, trust me. Some have amazing sex the first time, most don't, me included. Especially me. Most sex was at least a little awkward for almost 2 years, didn't properly erect. Came YII too early or, rarely, not at all with 3 different partners. But now I have amazing sex with my girlfriend. Just give it time and practice and don't force yourself. 35-year-old female who just lost my V card on the 8th. One thing I wasn't prepared for was to start crying. I wasn't crying cause it hurt, it did, but I expected that. I was crying because it's been, like, 20 years and I was kinda thinking that it wasn't gonna happen. Then, it did, and it was just a really emotional moment. He was so incredibly sweet and caring though, and I couldn't have been happier with my choice of partner. Oh man. My wife on her wedding night was crying. It was so sweet. We had had secretary before, but I thought it was just so emotional because we had just gotten married and it was a lovely night. Nope. I had apparently bonked her in the nose really hard with the top of my head and it hurt her face so bad she was crying. She just did want to say anything or stop because it was our wedding night.